Hi, I'm Tom. It is August 4th, 2025, and I am 49 years and 52 days old. A question that I thought I would answer by doing a video every day between my 49th birthday and my 50th birthday is, how do you keep a creative project going when it's only for yourself? When there is no intended audience and you're the only person you're making it for. This isn't a rare situation because for a lot of creative projects, you don't have an audience while you're making it. While you're writing songs, while you're writing a short story or a novel, while you're doing a painting, you tend not to have people around giving you feedback unless you put it online and you have a whole process thing going on. But other than that, most people making things are making them essentially in private and then putting them into the world. So for the entire duration of the creative process, with some exceptions like writing circles and feedback groups, etc., but for almost the entire process, you are making it for yourself. I mean, most people say, if you're going to make something, make it for you. Like, make a thing you want to exist and then allow it to find its audience. Chances are good there's no audience for this. For what I'm doing, I mean. Chances are very good. But there is me, a person who looked into the future and thought, will I have wanted to have done this? And got the answer yes, largely based on the simple premise that this only happens once in my life. I can record a video a day for a year any other time I want to. Spoiler alert, I will never want to do this again. But I could only do it between these two birthdays, actually between these two birthdays, which means either I did it or I didn't do it, and I decided to do it. Or at least so far I've decided to do it. Now, I write a newsletter. I also write it entirely for myself, but that does have an audience. And the platform that I use gives me a lot of details about that audience. It tells me how many people are opening it, how many times they've looked at it. Sometimes people leave a comment. Sometimes they click the little heart icon and tell me they've liked it. And in that sense, I'm always getting some kind of response to a thing that I've written. And then there's more direct forms of feedback, whether it's people sending me emails or if it's someone I know in real life talking to me about it. And all of this does make it easier for me to write. That's one of the primary reasons I started the newsletter, was to see if I could develop an audience, but only around things that I was interested in writing about. It's pretty clear if you look at this newsletter, there's absolutely no audience analysis going on whatsoever. There's no product market fit. I don't look at that even a little. I don't try and write more of things that people have responded to. But I didn't want it to become, hey, this is just this thing every time and now you can expect it. Because mostly I write to think, and I find it hard to do that, which sucks because there's a lot of things I should be thinking about. So having an audience really helps me there. But when there's no audience, and I can see there's no audience, and I don't feel compelled to try and generate an audience, what keeps this going? Like, what is this? And that's been pretty interesting. So along with the side effect of now being hyper aware of my age, because I do this daily video where I look into my phone and I say, hey, I'm this age. I'm this many days into being 49. I'm also now really aware of building habits, or I'm aware of the challenge of building a habit. They say it takes about 3 weeks for a habit to become embedded, regular, natural. This feels none of those things. This still feels as weird and awkward and hard as the first time I did it. And that hasn't changed relative to the few people that are watching. And that's surprising to me, because I would have thought that by now I would not care. Not care. It would be impossible to do this if I didn't care. But that I wouldn't be concerned. And yet somehow I'm still here, moving around, thinking about lighting, thinking about buying lights, always checking the audio levels now. And that's been really surprising. It's surprising how that hasn't changed in the now almost 8 weeks that I've been doing this. We're 5 weeks beyond when something is supposed to become a habit, and I'm still in that phase, which possibly will never go away, of feeling like it's the first time I've done this. And I think one answer to how do you keep a creative practice going is maybe to always feel not like you're going to die. That was the first thing that popped into my head. The first thing that popped into my head was always feel like you're going to die. That keeps you more creative. Possibly true, but not that you're going to die, but more like this isn't easy and I still don't know what I'm doing. And somehow that actually makes it more creative. Because if I knew what I was doing, if I felt I had nailed this, let's say every day 100 people were watching, which is a tiny amount, but would be exponentially more than currently watch these. I might have gotten to a point where I was like, oh, that's the one that everyone enjoyed. So now I'm going to always film it from the same point of view with the same kind of thing. And I'm going to articulate the same way. I'm going to gesture the same way. I'm going to dress the same way. And certainly if I was trying to build an audience, or indeed needed to make this work so that I could survive, I would take all those things into account. But as it is, it's mostly being pushed forward by that apprehension that, wow, I don't really know what I'm doing still, and it's 8 weeks in. There could be something to that. Maybe if you found yourself struggling with a creative project that you're working on, try and imagine the way you felt when you didn't know what you were doing. Maybe introduce a whole bunch of limitations to make it so that you don't know what you're doing. And you might find some like new energy for it there.